everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Noelle, and I'm here with another shoe review. This time we are looking at the Nike Zoom Fly. Yeah, so this shoe has been with me for quite some time. So you might see there's a lot of wear and tear on this shoe, and I've had to lace it up again because I've just finished using it, so it was unlaced and not very presentable earlier. But anyway, this is the Zoom Fly. This way and that way. The sole and the inner. So Nike issued this shoe to me sometime in late November. You're just going to read from the website description of the Nike Zoom Fly. Okay, and I'm going to be reading from the women's description. The Nike Zoom Fly women's running shoe is designed to meet the demands of your toughest tempo runs, long runs, and race day with a responsive construction that turns the pressure of each stride into energy return for the next. Okay, we're going to read more. Right. A full-length carbon-infused nylon plate within the midsole. It's somewhere in there. Feels like it propels you forward with every step, so you're just that much closer to your goals. Lunar lawn cushioning provides a balance of shock absorption, stability, and response without sacrificing comfort. So it's a combination of soft and firm foam. You can see that in the midsole as well. Lightweight support. A nearly seamless one-piece fly mesh upper is designed to be more breathable through the top of your foot to help it keep it cool as your run heats up. Ultralight fly wire cables hug your foot the more you tighten your laces, providing a secure fit that moves with you. And it's available in 3 colorways. The first time I took this shoe out, it was during a Nike Run Club session. So you were challenged to set a goal and try to beat it. And the goal I tried to set was, okay, I want to run a 3K in about 6 minutes per kilometer pace. And when I used this shoe, because it was so light and so springy, I actually hit that pace and kept it throughout the run. Of course, I had a pacer. The Nike Run Club sessions always have pacers, and they're pretty good at keeping you on pace. But I just found it so easy to stay on pace during that session. And I was actually supposed to try to get that 3K goal at the end of like a 4-week progression, but first session off the blocks, I already hit the goal. So I had to figure out a new goal to do within those 4 weeks. And so I determined that I was going to follow the Nike Run Club app with regard to the kinds of sessions that it recommended for me on certain days, as well as how many sessions to do in a week. And I used the Zoom Fly during each of those sessions, and I absolutely loved it because the shoe was light, it was springy, and it was easy to wear. It was obviously stylish. However, I did these runs on treadmills. That probably colors my perception of the shoe with regard to how soft it really was. But during that one session that I ran on the road at quite a hard pace, I really found it nice and soft, but I could still feel the ground under my feet, and so I was able to keep the efficiency of my run stride. The good thing is the colorway. The bad thing is that it actually showed signs of, the wrinkles on the soles just within that first session, and it kept wrinkling and wrinkling and wrinkling the more I used the shoe. And this wasn't just something that was a fluke from this particular pair, because I've seen other people's Zoom Flies and they all have the same sole wrinkling issue. I think it's just because the lunar lawn is so soft and it compresses under your, under each impact. Anyway, yeah, you're really supposed to replace your shoe anyway after a certain time. I just wish that it didn't show its age so quickly. I didn't really notice the offset until after the end of my testing period. I went to a shoe with a smaller offset, and I just noticed that I really felt like I was wearing heels with these shoes. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because for some people, they like that feeling of always being on the toes. It just felt for me like a huge difference when I wore a different pair of shoes. With regard to whether or not I was heel striking more in these shoes because of the added cushioning under the heel, yeah, it probably happened. But then I do tend to heel strike anyway, and that's not necessarily a bad thing when you're running. It just, you know, you need to have that quick turnover. That's a bigger priority than landing on your heels, because you could land on your heels, it's a very light kiss, and then your foot picks up right off again, and that decreases the impact forces. But there's a difference between that and landing on your heel and then, you know, like sticking there and getting stuck there and then trying to pull your foot up off the ground. So I didn't feel like my foot got stuck on the ground any longer than when I was wearing a zero offset shoe. A lot of people I know who use this shoe actually feel it's a really great race day shoe and a really good sprinting shoe as well, or tempo or speed runs, that sort of thing. And so yeah, I definitely think that there's something to that, because it's a very, 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 very light shoe. Obviously during this time I wasn't doing a lot of speed work or sprinting or anything like that. But yeah, it wasn't a clunky shoe, it was a very lightweight shoe. I was able to move around in it quite freely. Overall, I like the shoe. It's a good one to run in, especially if you have a neutral foot. You're not really a heavy runner, or I mean, you're not heavy. You're not a heavy person who's running. So yeah, you wouldn't have any complaints with this shoe if you were that sort of person. But if you needed a little bit more stability around the ankle or the arch, if you're a bit heavier and you don't like your shoe showing how much weight you put on it, then you might have issues with the Zoom Fly. I am looking at this shoe now, and there's a lot of wear right here in the middle of the heel, and I'm just not sure where that comes from, because I never really ran with this shoe on the road, but there's some wear inside right there. So and I've only been running with this shoe 3 times a week for maybe 2 months, so that's kind of puzzling to me, why this shoe would have that much wear. And I haven't been running long distances with it either. I mean, the maximum I think I ran with this was about 7 or 8 kilometers in one go. But I'm not necessarily sure that this shoe is going to be long-lived for a person who runs a lot of miles in them. Nike has a lot of shoes, a lot of different ranges, and it's up to you which one you like or which one fits the kind of runner you are. So according to shoe review websites, it's the world's #5 best Nike running shoe. A few users commended the high quality construction of this shoe since it held up great to abrasion and other aberrations, even after many miles of running. That's not how I experienced it. I ran with it completely indoors and it still looks quite old and laspag. So the Nike Zoom Fly is also based off the concept shoe called the Zoom Vaporfly Elite, which was used in the Breaking 2 record attempt. Since the concept shoe isn't really available for retail, Nike came out with two models based on this called the Zoom Vaporfly 4% and the Zoom Fly. The Nike Zoom Fly is Nike's response to the maximalist trend of cushioning in running footwear. So that's why the heel is so thick, and actually the sole is quite thick all the way up until the toe box, which is why it feels quite plush. Okay, so that does it for my Nike Zoom Fly review. It's not really a very in-depth review because I probably didn't put it through its paces because I didn't run fast enough, but the paces I ran at, which go from about a 7 minute per kilometer pace all the way up to about 5 minutes 55 seconds per kilometer pace. Those paces that I ran at, it performed really well. I liked the way that it responded. I liked the way that it cushioned my foot. I just didn't like the way that it ended up wrinkling. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more things happening. You can check out my travel vlogs, you can check out my other reviews, you can check out my event coverage as well. You can just look into the channel or check out the link at the end of this video. Thanks guys, and see you next time.